Today, I bring you the full story unfolding in real time about a tragic and serious event in Niger State, Nigeria. Before we dive deeper into the details, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an important update. This is a heavy topic, and I will make sure we go through it in a way that is clear, respectful, and easy to follow. Let's get straight into the gist. The headline that has been circulating and grabbing attention says, "Breaking: Tinubu orders manhunt after bandits kill 42 in Niger market fleeing Trump." We will break that down and understand what is happening, what is confirmed, what government authorities are doing, and how this affects everyday lives. First, let's talk about what exactly happened in Niger State. On a recent day, a busy local market community in Niger State was attacked. This was in Demo village, around the Kasuwan Daji market area, where traders and families were going about their normal daily activities. Suddenly, heavily armed men came into the community. These attackers began shooting into the crowd. They destroyed property, set fire to stalls, and caused widespread fear and panic among the residents. The violence was not short-lived. It went on for hours with many people unable to escape quickly. When the attack finally ended, the community was left in shock. Reports from people on the ground, traders, neighbors, families, indicated that at least 42 people lost their lives. Many others were injured, and several individuals were taken, kidnapped, and carried away by the attackers. This is not a small event. As 42 casualties in one attack is a staggering number. Behind that number are real human beings: mothers, fathers, children, market workers, and people supporting their families through small-scale trade. At this point, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you are following this report and you want regular, up-to-date information on developing news like this. Now let's talk about the response from the government. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reacted swiftly to this tragic situation. He did not wait for days. He immediately instructed the top security leadership of Nigeria to take action. He directed the Minister of Defense, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Service Chiefs, the Inspector General of Police, and the Director Generals of the Department of State Services to launch a thorough manhunt to find those responsible for the attack. Let's be clear about this manhunt. A manhunt is a coordinated search by security agencies to locate and apprehend suspects involved in serious crime. That means the military, police, intelligence services, and other security arms are being mobilized to track down the attackers. The objective is twofold. 1, to rescue any hostages who were abducted, and 2, to bring the culprits to justice. Let me take a moment here to remind you, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can stay informed as we bring more details when they become available. The president described this attack as a major test of Nigeria's resolve and security systems. As he made it clear that such acts of violence against innocent citizens will not be tolerated, and those responsible must be found and face the full weight of the law. In addition to the federal government response, the governor of Niger State, Umaru Bago, also condemned the incident. He called it cruel, senseless, and unthinkable. He expressed condolences to the families of the victims, and he assured the people of the state that efforts are ongoing to bring peace and stability back to that community. This incident is not an isolated one. It fits into a broader pattern of security challenges in parts of Nigeria, where armed groups have carried out raids on communities, marketplaces, and villages over the past several years. But today, we are focusing on this specific attack because of the scale, the loss of life, and the immediate national response. Let's take a closer look at how communities were affected. Imagine going to the market to sell your goods, fruits, vegetables, grains, or household items. You arrive early in the morning. You greet your fellow traders. You hope to make enough money to support your family. You do your business all day. This is how life normally goes for many Nigerians living outside the big cities. Then, without warning, there are gunshots. People start screaming. Mothers scoop up their children. Fathers rush to find cover. Goods are dropped. Stores are left unattended. Dust fills the air. Smoke rises from fires set during the chaos. In that moment, the market, a place of life and hope, becomes a place of fear and loss. After the attackers left, the people who survived were left to pick up the pieces. Some wept openly. Others searched for missing loved ones. Some tried to account for the dead. The weight of loss hangs heavy in the air. That is the real human cost of what happened. If you are hearing this story and you want to support awareness and peaceful solutions in Nigeria, please hit the like button and subscribe now so we can keep covering these developments responsibly. Now, let's talk about what this means for the broader region. Niger State is located in the central part of Nigeria and parts of its border states where violence and criminal attacks have been more frequent in recent years. This region has seen a range of security challenges, from kidnappings to village raids to attacks on highways. That context matters because it helps us understand that what happened in the Demo village market is part of a larger pattern. But it also reminds us that every incident like this affects real communities and demands real solutions. The government cannot simply view it as statistics. These are people's lives. Right now, military operations are reportedly being intensified in the nearby forests and corridors where these groups often hide. The intelligence services are stepping up surveillance and tracking efforts. Local police are working with community leaders to gather information about movements and possible escape routes used by the attackers. And yet, many citizens still feel uneasy. They want concrete action, not just words. At this point in the narrative, if you are finding this explanation clear and informative, please like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to bring you updates as this story develops. So let's now look at what experts and analysts are saying. Some security analysts say that attacks of this nature are often carried out by loosely organized groups who operate in rural areas with limited oversight. They may be motivated by criminal intent, profit from ransom or goods, or revenge. Others may be influenced by extremist ideologies. The motives are complex and often not explained by a single cause. This means that the solution is also complex, involving not only security action, but community engagement, economic development, and long-term support for affected populations. The government knows this. That is why, in addition to the manhunt, there are discussions about how to improve security infrastructure in vulnerable regions, including better communication channels, more security checkpoints where needed, and greater cooperation among different security agencies. If you are listening right now and you believe that peaceful progress and community safety are worth talking about, please like this video now and subscribe to our channel so you can join the conversation whenever we bring new updates. Now, I want you to think for a moment about what this means for everyday Nigerians living in border towns, small villages, or farming communities. These are people who rely on safety and opportunity to feed their families and build their futures. When attacks like this take place, that sense of security is shaken. Fear can spread not just in the affected village, but in surrounding towns as well. But alongside that fear, there is also resilience. There is strength in community bonds. Neighbors help one another rebuild. So local leaders organize support for widows and orphans. Schools and churches come together to provide emotional care. That aspect of human resilience, the capacity to rebuild, to support, and to endure, is part of the Nigerian story as well. As we process the gravity of this tragedy, we should also acknowledge the courage of those who reported the events from the scene, the emergency responders, and the families holding vigils for those they lost. This is why it is so important for you to stay informed, not because you should live in fear, but because understanding these events helps us all become more aware and more engaged citizens. If you agree, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps this channel continue to bring you quality news coverage. At this point in the broadcast, you might be wondering what happens next. The government is focused on locating the attackers. The manhunt involves ground patrols, intelligence gathering, and cooperation between state and federal security agencies. There are also efforts to provide medical support for the injured and aid for the families who have lost loved ones. In the coming days, we expect more updates about arrests or possible releases of information about those being held by security forces. We also expect statements from community leaders about reconstruction, safety measures, and support for survivors. We will continue to monitor these developments closely. Before we move further, please like this video and subscribe if you have not yet done so. It really helps our work reach more people who need accurate and timely information. Let's reflect for a moment on what this incident teaches us. It shows us that security, peace, and unity are not guaranteed. They must be protected by thoughtful policy, responsive leadership, and community awareness. It is also a reminder that tragedy brings out both the worst and the best in humanity. The harm caused by violence and the compassion shown by those who help others in response. We mourn with the families who lost loved ones. We pray for the injured. We stand with communities shaken by violence, and we support efforts to ensure this does not happen again. As we approach the final segment of this broadcast, I want to thank you for staying with me. I know this has been a long and detailed explanation, but that is important for understanding the full context of what is happening right now in Niger State. Now, before we continue with a few closing thoughts, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you value this kind of in-depth coverage. In closing, let me remind you once again, these events are serious. They affect real families and they deserve careful attention. Not sensationalism, but compassionate understanding and thoughtful discussion. If you want us to go deeper into this story, talk about the implications for national security policy, or explore what this means for local communities in Nigeria, just say continue, and I will go further with more detailed analysis. Thank you for listening. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you real news, real context, and real understanding as this story unfolds.